Has anybody ever sat back and just realized the decline that we've had in social behavior and worth ethic along the younger generations? I believe this could directly be caused to the amount of screen time that children have been subjected to in the past 10, 20 years. In this argument, I will be discussing the psychological, physiological, and social behavior of children that use too much screen time, and I will also discuss the role that the parents of these children play in this. The amount of actual recommended time increases per with the year, but for children that are the younger they are, are the less screen time they should actually have. And ages 0 to 2, it should be no screen time at all, per what the officials are saying. Due to the simple fact that this is the key time when children's minds are developing, and being set in front of a television just wears down the brain. It just doesn't let the children's brains evolve the way that they were meant to. I know, me being a parent, I I see the appeal to be able to just sit a child down in front of the TV so you can go run around and get things done. But in the long run, it's going to be sitting there and actually deteriorating your own child's brain. And this has extremely long and blown out uh, effects when it comes down to the long run. Now, this also comes to not just with their emotional development, it also leads to childhood obesity, behavioral issues, um, work ethic. You name it, it could be pretty much drawn back to the way that the child has been brought up mainly with screen time. Now, I know when I grew up when I was a kid, tele- cell phones were just coming out. People were allowed to, weren't really playing games and being able to connect to the internet and everything else. Phones nowadays, there are many computers in your hands. You can literally have access to everything. So another reason why is children shouldn't be having the screen time is because the stuff that you can find on the internet. You can literally find anything and everything that you can possibly want to, and it's scary. Now, when it comes to actually like with the screen time and like the negative aspects for it, when the children are growing up, they end up having poor cognitive and physical ability development, childhood obesity from not being active, sleep issues. This can be caused because of the blue light and everything else, and I can see it in my child. Like if he watches even just a little bit of TV within an hour or two before bedtime, the blue light that actually comes off the television actually affects the way their brains operate and can cause you sleep deprivity. I know it can have the same effect with adults as well. So it's just increased screen time in general can cause serious issues. Depression and anxiety. I know with my child's behavior, and I've seen other children's behavior, if they watch too much TV and you try and take that television away from them, they have they melt down about it because it's something that they are constantly having, and then you try and take it away, it's just not a good issue. Now, with the screen time, replacing it with physical activity is the best way that you're going to be able to, especially when they're in their younger ages. Anywhere from 0 to 8 years old is they should be the most physically active. Now, of course, this increases as they get older as well. It prevents childhood obesity, helps with depression, anxiety, just a healthier lifestyle. It completely helps with everything. Now, most people say to have at least an hour of moderate to vigorous activity for children, anywhere from 5 to 17 years old. Now, of course, anything over that is better. But at least an hour a day is what they recommend for children between ages 5 to 17 to have. Now, over the years, like I said, screen time has actually, of course, increased, but that's because technology has increased. Like I said, with the cell phones, more televisions, movies, people are accessing movie websites like Netflix, Hulu, all that kind of stuff. So it's just easier accessed than what it was 20 years ago when, yes, we still had VHS. DVDs have just came out and they were the size of plates, but everything was coming out. So now that technology has increased, so has the screen time increased and the way the generations are interacting with each other. Now, I know for a fact that, like I said, with my child, I have, it's just the amount, like, just having even an hour of screen time with him, whether he's watching TV or playing a game or something, that educational video game or anything else, it doesn't matter. If he acts completely different. Now, like I said, with the increased technology, now it also falls back in on the parents. Now, the issue with the parents is it becomes addictive. Like I know me and my wife have sat down and said, hey, we need to cut back on our cell phones. We'd be sitting there playing on our cell phone for no reason. And we have no reason to be when we should be sitting there paying attention to our children. Now, like I said, if the parents are having these bad issues, the children growing up are seeing their parents' behaviors and their patterns, and they feed off of that. And they end up becoming the same way, and then they grow up to be this exact same way, and it's just a never-ending cycle unless it's broken at some point. Now, there was a Portuguese study that children who lived in a home with a parent that watched more TV or hours of TV per day were between 1.5 and 8 times more likely to also watch more TV per day, such as their parents. So, whatever we do, it's very based on what our children end up doing. And we as parents, we're the ones that limit it. That by Steve Jobs even said this. We limit how much technology our kids use at home. Steve Jobs, who created Apple. Come on. But anyways, in this study, I've covered many different reasons to reduce screen time for children and adults, all in well. Now I just hope that you feel the same way that I do. Thank you.